I'd like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Sorry, y'all, I had to put that food down. Sorry about being late. I had to boot up and get everything ready. But in any case, I'm here. And so we're going to get this show started, okay? We definitely want to talk about some issues as it relates to one's privacy, especially in their home. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is going to be part one. Actually, it's two parts. This is going to be part one today. And I'll bring you the second part. Hopefully, I will bring you and we will have guests. But you all sit tight. Just want to let you know that we getting ready to get started. So go run in the kitchen and get you a cup of coffee, water, or something like that. And we're going to come back and we're going to get this show started, okay? So will you all just go ahead and do that right now, all right? And I'll see you in a little bit. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say again, thank you for waiting on me and while I run late. But I'm not going to hold you long. As I indicated, this is going to be part one of this very, very important topic that we're going to be talking about today. It should concern those of you especially who are renters, okay? That you be living in an apartment. In some cases, you may be renting a home, okay? So we especially want to speak to you on this evening. Now, before I get started, I wanted to put something up here. Go ahead and get all the legal stuff out of the way, okay? And let me go up here and find it. I just want to put my disclaimer up since we're talking about some private businesses, okay? So we want to put that up there. I think this is it right here. I think this is it. But anyway, that is my disclaimer. They say this podcast is for informational only, informing and educating the community on a wide variety of topics to discuss and voice your individual opinions, okay? So your opinions are your opinions and not the opinions of the host. But this is to give you a platform to where you can participate in the discussions. And I want to say this is not, I'm not coming to call any particular landlord by name, but I am going to put this information out there just to alert the community to be very careful, okay? Take all precautions, okay? So that is the disclaimer, all right? Now, I want to say that probably about, I want to say a week ago, maybe two, I want to say a week, but I got a call from a person in Oak Hill who was very, very concerned that he thought that a camera might have been in his home for quite some time. He did discover it, the camera. He did speak with his landlord about the camera, or he spoke to workers of the landlord about the camera. And, you know, they said a few things to him. He asked some questions or what have you. First of all, why is the camera there? You know, in his home. He was concerned about his privacy, okay? And so that's very important. You know, you think that that is the one place that you would be somewhat safe is in your home. All right. But let me go ahead and show you the, excuse me, show you the camera that he found in his home. Okay. I want to go up there and show it, if I may. Uh, but that is exactly what I want to show. Now, let me go over here. I'm trying to make sure I got everything set up because I was rushing y'all. All right. Now, I'm hoping that you all can see this camera. Let me see if I can go ahead and do something here. Let's try this. Okay, that's a little small there. I want it bigger than that. Let's try this. I will work with that. I think that may get it. We're gonna work with that. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly how big this particular camera is. I don't know if it's size of a fist or what, but this is the particular camera that the homeowner found in his home, and he stated that he saw a light or something that was on. I don't know if it was blinking or he just saw a light, and he never, according to the homeowner or the renter attendant, that is, he didn't actually know exactly what it was. He paid no attention to it, and so he don't know how long the camera was placed in his home. Uh, uh, to my understanding, he was getting ready to move out of the apartment is when he discovered this camera. Okay, let's get that set that out right now. It wasn't like he was still living there. I don't think, but he did inform me that upon him uh, leaving the apartment because his lease was not going to be renewed, and we're going to talk. It's the second part of this broadcast. We're going to talk about is that there are certain tenants besides this tenant here where their lease is not being renewed because they making room for another set of tenants who possibly, like I say, this hearsay may be paying a weekly rate as opposed to a monthly rate. So we're going to talk about that on the second half of this broadcast, okay? But I wanted to show you this camera. This is the camera. Let me see if I can scroll down on it a little bit where you can see it. But this is the camera right here. That's the antenna there, if you didn't know. The long stem there. I don't know if the homeowner, the tenant thought it was a robot or what, but he stated he didn't know what it was. But this is the camera right here. I'm scrolling down where you can see it. Okay. That is the camera right there. Now, to go ahead and set the stage of this show, I also want to talk to you about uh, the legal aspects about this particular camera. Okay, we're going to talk about that. All right, because there are laws on the books that protects you against invasion of privacy. Okay, there are laws on the book, and there's not but two that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to put it on the camera for you right now. We're going to talk about these two laws, and afterwards, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about open up the floor for your comments, statements or whatever, questions or what have you. Okay, so let's go to the law part of it. All right, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's try to tab down until we can come to the first law. Okay, and this was a law, still good law, 2020. This is the first statute right here. Okay, statute 516-101. This is the crime of video voyeurism. I guess that's how you pronounce that, voyeurism. Voyeurism is simply I guess when you hear that word voyeurism, the first thing come to mind is you got some old sick person done set a camera maybe in the bathroom or in your bedroom. Uh, perhaps it's all tied into his little sick mind of some sexual activities, and so you may have some old sick person that placing a camera in your room, and this is the law that governs that. That's the word you look for: voyeurism, crime of video voyeurism. Voyeurism. Okay, let's go ahead and read that particular statute together. I'm hoping you all can see that. I blew it up enough where I can read it. If I go any more, it's going to be too much, too big, I believe. We're going to try that. We're going to try 200, okay? And I just move it over side to side. We'll just do that, okay? Let me see if I can get it to go side to side. Yeah, I can. All right. This law specifically states it is unlawful for a person to use a camera, videotape, video, optical, photoelectric, or other, let's tab over a little bit, or other image recording device for the purpose of secretly. Remember, I'm telling you, he's recording you without your knowledge. Secretly observing, viewing, and photographing, filming, or videotaping. Okay. It's another person who is present in a resident. Okay. That's one place. A place of business. Can't do it on your job either. You even get sick. You might have a sick boss, you know, uh, that peeping Tom, peeping in on you. All right. Schools, other structures, or a room. Okay. Or a particular location within that structure. If the other person, one, let's go ahead and tab down now. Is a private area out of public view. Okay. In other words, you have taken the steps to make your business private. All right. Two, has a reasonable expectation of privacy. Okay. So that's number two. Now my phone ringing. Um, y'all, that's the key word right there. Uh, the question may ask, uh, the question may ask, how do I was trying to unplug this thing. Uh, how do uh, how do a person measure when um, you can consider them wanting some privacy? Okay, that's it right there. Number two, has a reasonable expectation of privacy. What's a reasonable expectation? If you're inside your home, one place that we always go for privacy is the bathroom, correct? Another place that we want some privacy in our home is the bedroom, correct? Now let's talk about on the outside. Let's say you out in the backyard. Let's say you got a fenced in backyard. You don't took steps that you want that area of the exterior part of the house outside. You want that part where you are going out in the public. You want that to be privacy. You have taken steps. You put a privacy fence around your yard, and let's say you laying back there. Let's say your wife is laying back there, and she wants to get a tan. She done unstrapped her upper clothing or what have you, and wants to just lay out there, letting the sun hit on her. Okay. Then you get some old sick person, they'll attach some type of video over in some little crack part of the fence. And another thing that's an invasion is that they can be up in the air, maybe on top of a building. In some cases, if they're flying, say, a helicopter, and they uh, video zooming down into your back area, that can consider to be an invasion of privacy. Number three, has not consent to the observation. In other words, you didn't give that person permission to video record you. So those are three things you look for. Number one, you're in a private area. You are out of the public view. Okay. Two, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. In other words, you done took some steps. Whether you're in the bathroom, bedroom, or you're outside, you got a fenced backyard or whatever, and you got some old peeping Tom trying to peep through the cracks at you. That's an invasion. Number three, has not consent to the observation. In other words, the only somebody got permission to watch me is my husband, or the only somebody got permission to watch me is my wife. You got some sick women out there too now. Don't think it's just men. You got some sick women out there. All right. You got some sick women out there. All right. So let's tab on down. It say B, the other part of this law. It is unlawful for a person to knowingly use an unmanned vehicle or aircraft. Remember I was telling you about that helicopter? Aircraft, a camcorder, a motion picture camera, a photographic camera, or any type of other equipment that is concealed, operated in a manner to escape detection or disguise to secretly or superstitiously videotape, film, photograph, record, or view by electronic means another person. Again, we're talking about that peeping Tom, y'all. All right, that little sick pervert. That's what we're talking about. One, for the purpose of viewing any portion of the other person's body, and for which the other person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. Two, without the knowledge or consent of the other person. And three, under circumstances in which the other person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. You're going to hear that a lot. Reasonable expectation. Okay. You don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Just using common sense. You go in the bathroom, you close your door, you ain't even got to lock it. When you go in that bathroom and you don't close the door and you're getting ready to handle your business, whether it's just to take a leak or what they say, do the number two, you might forget to lock the door. But, you're getting ready to take care of business. All right. You close that door. That's an expectation. I want some privacy. All right. It's a person who violates. Oh, here come the penalty now. This is a crime, y'all. Voyeurism. I can't pronounce the word, y'all. A person who violates Section A of this section for a first or second offense upon conviction is guilty of a Class D felony. That's a felony, y'all. Ain't no misdemeanor. That's a felony. In other words, you're getting ready to go to the big house, do some time, if convicted. All right? Unless the prosecutor and judge have a little mercy on you, maybe give you a slap on the wrist, suspended sentence, probation, something like that. But it's letting you know how serious it is. It is a felony, okay? Low-grade felony, but nevertheless, it's a felony, all right? It's a person who violates subsection A of this section for a third and subsequent offense upon conviction is guilty of a Class C felony. Now it's getting worse, Class D felony is your lowest grade felony. You got A, B, C, and D. I think that's still the classifications of the felonies. So now, when you do a step up to a Class C, what do it say? It say, upon conviction, guilty of a Class C felony, okay? Which you're going to get a little bit more jail time on Class C, all right? It say a person who violates subsection B of this section upon conviction is guilty of a Class, Class B misdemeanor, Now that's a misdemeanor. This is getting into your low grades, moved away from your felony. But if you commit such criminal acts, anything in regards to this statute that we're reading right now, uh, depending on the degree of the violations of the crime you committed, in some cases you might get a misdemeanor. You might lie, say, you tripped over a hole and fell in your neighbor's back against your neighbor's back fence, and that's how you saw what you saw. Which ain't no judge gonna believe that. But anyway, however, a person who violates subsection B of this section upon conviction is guilty of a class A misdemeanor. Now it's going up from a class B misdemeanor to a class A misdemeanor. It's a distributed or transmitted the video recording. In other words, you done passed this equipment out. You done gave it to somebody to use or what have you. So in other words, you have become an accessory to a crime. You may not be assessed with a felony, but you're gonna get some type of penalty. That's why we're talking about these misdemeanors now. Okay, it's a photo of another person. You taking photos, what have you, passing circulation of photos. You putting that material in circulation. You might not have been the one that took the pictures or did the recording, but you are just as guilty when you begin to start distributing that video or those photos. Okay, then you want to try to blackmail folks at times. Uh, Posted the video recordings, film, or photos in a format accessible by another person via the internet, or has previously been convicted. In other words, you already been convicted of this crime before. Section 516-102, and that's when you begin to start getting into other statutes, what have you. It's we're almost through, y'all, down to the bottom on this one. This section does not apply to video recording or monitoring conducted on a court from a court of competent jurisdiction. But basically, we're not gonna read all that. I think I don't give you enough information to let you know that, when you got a peeping Tom in your neighborhood and you have a reasonable belief that this person is invading your privacy, whether it's by means of photo, setting some type of audio or video, electronic device on your property, or in some cases, it could be in his window. For example, you can put a camera, although it's in your house. If you aim that camera at the bedroom of your neighbor's house, that's a crime. Or you done set a camera, you might have upstairs house and you can look down on your neighbors, see them in their backyard. I know I can. I can see my neighbor in his backyard, but ain't no peeping Tom, y'all. So I ain't, I wouldn't do no crap like that. But what I'm saying is that people who have a upstairs home, they do have the capability of looking over into their neighbor's backyard. Okay, so be very mindful of that. All right. It's a security monitoring operated by or in a direction of an occupant of a resident. I just talked about that. You can't aim your camera at your neighbor's property when that neighbor them have some reasonable, remember the word, reasonable expectation that they want their business to be private. Okay. Now, it's where we at? Security monitoring operated by or at the direction of the owner or administrator of a business, school, or other structures. Security monitoring operated in a motor vehicle used for public transit. Security monitoring and observation associated with correctional facility and jail. Just because you're in jail, you still get privacy. You can't have them old peeping Toms. You may have some guard guy down there sneaking over there in the women ward. Those sick pervert, over there peeping in on the women. That happened because he's in a position of authority and power, and he's already thinking, well, who gonna believe you? You know, you're a criminal. You know, and Lord forbid if it's a lady uh, who has been known to get into this what is called prosti, prosti can't say the word, prostitution. Selling her body for money. Just because a woman sell her body for money, it don't mean that you can just violate her privacy. She still have rights. Okay. What we at? It's a security monitoring and observation associated with a correctional facility. That's why I'm at, regardless of location of the monitoring equipment. All right. Video recording and monitoring conducted by a law enforcement officer. I just talked about that. Within the official scope of his or her duty, or videos taping on another statute. You can write that statute down if you want. I hold it there for a while. That's another statute that you can write down: 12, 18, 6, 15B. Okay. All you got to do if you want to try to find that statute, just go to your browser or whatever browser you prefer. I use Google, uh, and just go ahead and type in. You can even type in the word ARK. That's all you need to type in. ARK, and then this number, 12, 18, 6, 15, or whatever other statute number that you want to try to research. Okay. And so that's the end of that statute. And the only other statute that I have for you all is right here. Okay. See if I can pull that over a little bit. Now this statute right here is another statute I want to say. It's 56120. The interpretation and recordings. Okay, this is the interception and recordings. Talking about, I guess, recording devices. Okay, we're gonna run through this real quick. We ain't got but one page of this here, just one page. Ain't nothing really on that second page. Just get really one page. It is unlawful, okay, for a person to intercept a wire, landline, oral, telephonic communication. Look, I'm turn that down a little bit. I had my volume too high. Hope y'all can still hear me. Or wireless communication, or to record or possess a recording in the communication unless the person is a party to the communication, or one of the parties of the communication has given prior consent to the interception and recording. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, y'all. And that's a class A misdemeanor. Whenever you, let's just say you're in a group and you have to get their consent. If you're a part of that group, you still must get their consent. All right. Arkansas, I want to say Arkansas do have what is called a one-party consent. You either got a one-party consent and two-party consent, and we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna go to the board. Okay. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about the invasion of this person's property down in Oak Hill, Arkansas. It is an exception to the application of subsection A of this section that an officer, employee, or agent of a public telephone utility company that is licensed by a federal or state agency to provide wire or wireless telecommunication service to the public provide information, facilities, or technical assistance to the person acting under the color of law to intercept a wire, wireless, oral, or telephonic. Okay, and that's pretty much the end of that communication. Okay, I pretty much can give you enough information about these laws. There are laws on the books. I got a few federal statutes here as well, but we're not going to get into that. But I want to talk about this one party and this two party state, and then after that, uh, I'm done. Okay, I'm done after that. So let's go back. Let's get out of this here real quick. Okay, let's get out of this here. I'm trying to get out. Okay, let me get out of this right quick. Okay, there we go. Now, uh, we're going to talk about uh, this one party and two party consent states. Okay, and then we'll be done. All right. Let's talk about remember, you all keep in mind the word to look for. Word you're looking for is a reasonable expectation of privacy. Whenever you have taken that step that you want your business to be private, then you must at least uh, set the stage, if you will, where you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Let me go over here and find it. I want to find that one party consent. There we go. A one party consent. One party consent states an individual can record conversations they are a part of without the other person consent. Arkansas is a one party consent state. Okay. One party, which means if you having a conversation with another person, okay, uh, and you is part of that conversation. What this one party consent state means is that an individual, read it with me, can record conversations they are a part of without the other person consent. Now, I would say still, uh, that's pretty much a gray area. There still may be some do's and don'ts there. So even if you are having a conversation with someone and you have told them something, say in confidentiality, in other words, you don't want it to get out, but they tell it anyway. Okay. Now you might want to talk to an attorney. Okay, that's really what I'm saying. Now although we are one party consent state, which means if you part of that conversation or recording or what have you, you don't need the other person, uh, consent. Okay, if you wants to uh, do some recording. All right. So what's a two party state? Arkansas is a one party state. A two party consent state, which simply say, let's say you get uh, 3, 4 people in a group. Okay, 3, 4 people in a group. What it's saying with this two party consent state is that all parties that partake in a conversation must have given consent for that conversation to be recorded when there is a reasonable expectation to privacy. Okay, like the bar is a little higher there. Okay, the bar is a little higher there. Uh, right here, if I'm reading it correctly, uh, it simply state that if you are taking part in conversation, let's just say it's 3 people that's doing that's involved in that conversation or what have you. Uh, what it's saying is that uh, if you wants to do some recording and you part of that conversation, it's simply saying that all parties that partake in a conversation must have given consent for their conversation to be recorded. The way I interpret it, see your attorney if you don't understand it, but the way I interpret it is that if you miss one person, you got 3 persons in your group, and uh, they believe that whatever y'all talking about or whatever, uh, that it is private, and that one person don't want it to get out, you must try to persuade that one person uh, a little different than his thinking or her thinking. Because if you are in a two-party state and you get 3 or more people participating in that conversation, you must have given consent for that conversation to be recorded. Everybody must know that they're being recorded in that particular group, whether it's 3 people, 4 people, whatever. If one person believes that whatever y'all talking about is strictly confidentiality, in other words, you don't want nobody to know, uh, you must really express that to that person if you're going to be doing some recording. If you live in a two-party state, but we are a one-party state. That's pretty much all I have for us laying down the law. I hope I said something, uh, trying to explain to you all uh, the penalties. Uh, when do you cross that line of invading someone's privacy? What's the key word? Is that when that person have taken what? A reasonable expectation. I had it over here somewhere. But when that person has what? Has a reasonable expectation of privacy. All right. If if that's the case, then you have invaded that person's privacy, and you might pay for it. All right. So let me in a little bit we're gonna go to my board, and we're gonna see what's going on over there. Uh, I don't know if we got anything over there or not. I'm gonna go ahead and look for a minute, and hopefully see if we have anything. I can't even pull my board up now. Let me see. Okay, where are your comments? Oh, there you go, right there. All right. Look like I guess I'm private. I mean, public. Look like we got one somebody tuning in. I guess everybody must be a little busy today. But we got Miss William. How you doing? And so we don't have anyone. I guess I'm glad I did see somebody there. At least I know I'm up and running. I'm public. What I'm saying, people can see me. At least I hope. But uh, but that's pretty much all I got. That's this is part one of this here. Uh, as I said, we will be coming back with part two, uh, where I'm planning on having some of the people who are affected in Osceola with this invasion of one's privacy, that they be a tenant in an apartment or a house. Okay. Now the other part of that that I want to talk about has to do with uh, their lease not being somewhat uh, renewed. Uh, I understand that there is a landlord or landlords in Osceola. I don't know about Blythe, but I'm told that they will not be renewing certain individuals' lease, and this is all hearsay. What I am hearing is that they have some Hispanics who are working out at the mill at Big River Steel. And normally, in this area, that is, if you unless you are staying at some hotel or whatever, where you're paying a weekly rate or whatever, then those are the only places that I know that you're paying a weekly rate. Okay. Well, this landlord, or maybe more than one, I'm told it's more than one. It's not just one landlord, although we're talking about the one landlord that places the hidden camera. But I'm told that there are many, well, not many, there are other landlords to where they rent into these group of individuals, I'm hearing it's the Mexican uh, workers or attendant uh, that are taking out these leases. And instead of them paying uh, a monthly rate, they are charging these Mexicans a weekly rate, which I think is wrong in itself. Okay, now there could be a possibility that some of the Mexicans are probably here on a Visa card, you know, to work. That is, uh, may not even be a citizen. Some may be a citizen, some may not be. But in any case, I think it's wrong to charge these Mexicans a weekly rate as opposed to charging them uh, a monthly rate. And so there may be some problem with that. The city ordinance, I would say to anyone that has been affected to where you believe that your uh, lease is not renewed, and that's because they're looking at more dollar signs, renting to the Mexicans on a weekly rate as opposed to a renting to you on a monthly rate, then you might want to talk with an attorney. You might want to talk with uh, if these apartments are having some type of contract with HUD, public housing, or whatever. You might want to give them a call. Okay, if you believe that that is a fact, you have your facts together. If you believe that is a fact that they are not renewing contracts, well, lease agreement with tenants because they want to get more money weekly as opposed to monthly, then you might want to go and speak to an attorney or either give uh, public housing, HUD, or whatever, give them a call and speak to that director to see, if that's permissible. All right. So that's pretty much all I have, you all. Just wanted to bring that news to you. And I will be coming back. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to be recording next week. I might be out of town. So if I do anything, it may be through the week. That's if I can't wait till I get back. Uh, but that's basically all I have, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that you all uh, got something out of what I said today. And remember, if you believe you are a victim of some electronic devices, that is listening device, audio that is, or that is a video device where they are visually taking photos or visually video recording you, then you might need to speak with somebody. First contact is to call the police. All right. Call the police. They may have some contacts or they may have a person that work in their IT department. Okay. That can maybe come out and maybe run some type of test or scan or whatever on your apartment, every room uh, that's available. In some cases, they may put these devices up in the attic, you know. Beware of light bulbs. We get all these smart light bulbs now. These smart devices, they can do so much now, uh, in your homes, can uh, tell you what room you're in, unlock your doors, uh, unlock your windows. Uh, all the technology is so rapid and advancing that we just can't keep up with it. So just know uh, there could be some truth to light bulbs might be watching you right now. For those of you who live in an apartment, in some cases, your own home. If you have a security system, I'm not going to tell you who mine with. I'm not going to call any names, but you know, uh, you better start having some common sense, uh, ladies and men, and learn to put some clothes on when you start walking through your house. You never know who's watching. Okay, but that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for coming out sitting with us um, on this Sunday, and hopefully we'll come back next week again and try to crank this thing up again because I don't know if let me see. I'm trying. Oops, hold on. I pulled something out. Uh, I don't know if next week I'm going to be able to do the show that I wanted to do today. I'm hoping that you all can hear me. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Look like something don't sound right. Uh, I done pulled something out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and check my system right quick. But anyway, uh, I might be out of town next week, so if I don't come to you on a Sunday, I might very well try to come to you. Maybe one day through the week. Uh, Something just not sounding right with my system there. I don't pull the wire out and try it again. Testing 1 2 3, and I hope I'm getting ready to shut it down anyway. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, something going on. I don't know what's going on with my system here. Right at the end, I'm getting ready to wrap it all up, and now it want to start acting up on me. Uh, anyway, I don't get time to try to figure it out right now. So you all catch me again next week or the week after that, and we shall be coming back, cranking this show up again, getting it started with another great episode come that following week. All right. So please, please, please tell a friend and tell a friend to tune in to the Tony Hollis Live. There you go. Tune in to the Tony Hollis Live talk show. Come next week. May not be on Sunday, it may be a day before. All right. So until then, I want to say, may God bless, may God keep you, and we will be coming back again to to speak to you on the issue as it relates to what's going on with Osceola in that shooting. I do have some. I do have some. I do have some video that I want to show you as it relates to Kevion Jones shooting. Uh, I do have some video that I want to show you all that you have not seen yet as it relates to that shooting. Okay, so I don't know if it won't be next week because, like I said, I'll be out of town, maybe the week after, but I do have that video. And before I close, I almost forgot. I want to go ahead and share with the people about a friend of mine. I made a post as it relates to Michael Miller Brooks. Okay, now there are some people uh, that have been putting their mouth unfairly, that is, on my friend Michael Miller Brooks. All right, I'm not gonna go into it about. Uh, you probably already done saw it. I'm hearing that they done. I even sent it to me last night. Done put on Facebook a photo of him where he had ran into some uh, legal issues. Let me just say that. Okay. Now, I want to say this here to the people that's trying to somewhat embarrass or humiliate, bring pain, cause harm to Michael Miller Brooks. I want to say to you, it's one thing that you need to understand, that karma is real. You hear me? Karma is real. If you think that you are so special and you are so untouchable that you can just use your mouth and you can speak about somebody else's misfortune, somebody else's pain, if you believe that you can do that and you don't pay for it, you better think again. Karma is real. It's coming back around. It's coming back around. And this is what I need to ask you. What's in it for you? What is in it for you? When you do a person like this, try to ruin their reputation by putting something on social media. What you haven't taken into consideration is this. That man got a family. That man got a wife who is dissatisfied, probably is hurting from the actions that you took. This man has a daughter, 2 daughters. The daughter that I know, Shan, been knowing this child since she was a baby. Love her daddy. And you do something like this. So when you set out to bring harm and pain to my friend, Michael Middlebrooks, you don't hurt his family. They didn't deserve that. And if you are good with that you can hurt this man's family by putting things on Facebook, no matter if they're true or false, if they bring pain to another person in their family bloodline, and you don't care, what kind of person can you call yourself? Remember, karma is real. It's coming back around. It's coming back around. And like I say, Michael's my friend. I'm going to stand with him 10 toes down. I'm going to have his back all the way, always. And I'm going to say this here to the people that's telling me, well, I was at one family, one Black Lives Matter, another Black. I don't care what other Black Lives Matter group you participated in. What I'm saying to you is that I didn't see you at mine. I don't care what others you went to. If you was riding in a car, I didn't see you. I didn't see yeah, I'm gonna give you that. When I said that you didn't show up, I was saying I didn't see you. Okay. Now, as far as Michael, saying that Michael, if y'all such a good friends and this, that, and the other, how come he didn't do this? How come he didn't come out for you on this? How come he didn't speak up for you on that? How come he didn't speak up at the Black Lives, at your Black Lives Matter program that you had that day? How come he didn't speak? Well, hell, he don't have to speak. You think just cause everybody to come out that day? Hell, if everybody had to speak that participated, we'd have been out there probably to midnight. Just cause people came out and participated, it don't mean that they want to speak. I know some city councilmen, 1 or 2 city councilmen was there. They didn't speak, but they marched, walked. We say march, but they all walked around, made laps around the park when we got there. They didn't speak. And as far as Michael not being there, Michael did not stay there. He did come out to the park. I spoke with him. So for anybody to say he wasn't there, hell, you're calling me a lie. I spoke to the man. The man came running up behind me when we entered the park. I heard somebody calling my name behind me. I turned around and that was Michael. He was just wanting to come over to speak to me, to let me know that he was proud of what we was doing that day. And he gave me a big hug. We said a few other words. And Michael had to go like he do now, in town and out of town, in town and out of town. And so he had to go. But he made it his business to come over to the park to just to say what he said to me and give me a brotherly hug. That's what friends do. Now, I don't know how many of you got a real close friend or a good friend, one that will stick with you, one that will support you no matter what. That's the kind of friendship I have with Michael. And so when you hurt a friend of mine by putting your mouth on them, when it's really you're not going to reap no benefit from it, you just do it because you can do it. And you hurt his family in the process of doing what you're doing. What kind of person that make you again? I have to keep asking that question. What kind of person do that make you? And think you don't score some points with the political arena or with the people in the community or with the little groups, whatever, ones may be associated with. Even if all that is true, you don't score some points with the politicians, you don't score some points with whatever group you're affiliated with, kinship, friendship, or whatever. Again, how has it really benefited you personally? None. I guess we're supposed to give you some kind of reward, put a medal on your chest or something, and tell you good job for bringing pain to that man's family. That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. You all catch me again come next week, the week after that is, and hopefully I may try to go ahead and finish up on the Kevion Jones videotapes that I want to show you and a few other things. So hopefully when I do that, we can go ahead then and we can pretty much go ahead and let the courts have his way in terms of trying to bring this family some type of peace, if you will. All right. So again, I want to thank you all for sitting with me on the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Do catch me again, not this coming week, but the week after. If you do see me before 2 weeks, it'll only be because I'm coming to you with a special broadcast. Okay. So I want to say to you all, peace and love. God bless. And please do continue to share and like all of my videos, because the more people that tune in, it ain't like I'm getting some money, but it just give me some type of I say it makes me feel good when I know that people are listening, and perhaps I might have said something to help them in one way or the other. So please do share, okay? And we're going to be coming back next week uh, and try to do again what we always do uh, with the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Okay? So again, I want to say peace and love. God bless and good night.